It's big.
Three here for group.
What's it?
Sarah Vogelsinger, can you check your microphone? See if we can hear you.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Inside.
Abby's got hers, Tom's got his.
Well, should we pass them down?
Yeah, you can do that.
Hold on to it and bring it. We're gonna have to,
Oh, okay.
do it out front here.
All right.
I was looking for them. I think she told me they were gonna be here, so I'm thinking it's been an embarrassing moment. I had those. Okay, we will call to order the regular meeting of the Batavia City Council for Monday, May 1st, 2023. I would ask that you all please rise for a brief invocation to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, we are ever mindful that we live in a very powerful and troubled world. It is something that is impacting, I'm sure, all of our communities in the country, including ours. And we just hope and pray that the governments at a higher level than us, both at the federal and state level, can find their ways to do the right way, the right things. And we have had some people come in and want to have demonstrations at our community about something that the federal or state government's doing. And we allow that, but at the end of the day, none of them that have come in yet have ever shown up to do their protest. But we are ever mindful that we have a number of people within the community who are upset about various issues, and certainly we will be watching with great interest as we move forward. Tonight, we are ever thankful that we are about to swear in half the city council to a new 4-year term for each of them. And we thank them and appreciate the willingness and sacrifices of their family and allowing them to come and be part of this group on a regular basis. And certainly this is government at the very, very top end of being involved with what citizens need and want and understanding. And so we are very fortunate to have the type of government we do have, and that the city council has the power to, between themselves, control what is happening in Batavia for the best will of all of us. Tonight, as always, we want to ask for a special blessing upon those from our community and from throughout our country who are serving on foreign soil in defense of the liberties of the United States of America. And we just ask that a special blessing be showered upon them. As always, we also want to ask for a special blessing on those within our community who are sick or infirmed, and knowing that each and every one of them is pleased by what is going on as far as the city and the safety that is involved in our community. We ask for understanding and vision and blessings by the members of the City Council as they act on the items before them tonight, knowing that in the hearts and minds of all of them, they are all for doing what is in the best interest of Batavia and its future. We ask for all these blessings. Amen. Alderman Rosado, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance one last time?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ask the city clerk to please call the roll.
Miller,
Here.
Rosado,
here,
Beck,
Here.
Connolly,
here,
Janset,
here,
Wolf,
here,
Solfa,
Here.
Barron,
Here.
Lehman,
Here.
Ayazi,
Here.
Malay,
here,
Ewer,
Here.
Saron,
Here.
Vogelsinger.
Here.
14 present, none absent.
We have obviously the necessary quorum to conduct business. Moving to item number 4 is a reminder from the chair that we ask, if you're going to address us tonight, that you please come and use the podium and use the microphone, because this is all being recorded and to be played back on BATV. And if you don't speak into the microphone, sometimes it's very difficult for those watching on TV to understand what you're trying to say. Moving to item number 5, items to be removed, added, or changed on tonight's agenda. Does anybody on the council have anything? Alderman Chanzit, do you have any changes?
Your Honor, I'm aware of none.
All right, moving then to item 6.
Mayor, there is one item to be added, and it would be the appointment of Craig Hansen to the Fire Pension Board as a replacement for Randy Dykey.
Right. Can we put that in as item 6A, right after the consent agenda?
Yes.
All right. Okay, moving to the approval of the consent agenda, Alderman Chanzit.
Your Honor, the consent agenda reads as follows. To accept and place on file the Plan Commission minutes for March 15th, 2023. Approvals, April 28th, 2023 payroll in the amount of $993,287.31. The accounts payable check register in the amount of $2,100,882.13. Resolution 23-60-R, authorizing execution of professional services agreement with Pure Technologies U.S. Inc. for a 3-year waterworks system valve exercising program. Resolution 23-61-R, authorizing execution of professional service agreement with M.E. Simpson Company, Inc. for a 3-year waterworks system leak detection program. Resolution 23-57-R, approved plat of easement for 1001 North Verdant Road, Superfast Trucking. Ordinance 23-13, an ordinance proposing establishment of SSA number 70. Resolution 23-62-R, approving a resolution accepting a plat of utility easement at 1335 Pine Street. Resolution 23-63-R, approving a resolution accepting plat of utility easement at 905 East Wilson Street. Ordinance 23-12, annexing and zoning part of Skyline Drive right-of-way. Resolution 23-55-R, approval of task orders 2 revised, 2D, 2E, 2F with V3 for final engineering, alternative native detention designs, permitting, plat easements associated with the Carriage Crest Detention Basin. And Resolution 23-67, authorization for execution of a storage lease between Batavia Enterprises, Inc., Building 1, LLC, and the City of Batavia for construction storage areas. Your Honor, I move that we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chanzit, second by Alderman Wolf for the approval of the consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Chanzit.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa. Aye. Barron. Aye. Lehman. Aye. Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosado.
Aye.
Beck. Aye. Connolly.
Aye.
14 yes, no, none absent.
All right, and as we mentioned, as we were preparing the consent agenda, I mentioned that we have another item that I guess we just determined needs to be done, and that's the appointment of Chief Hansen to be a member of the Fire Pension Board, replacing retired Chief Dykey. We've always kept it so we have a full-time chief generally as a member of the pension board. So would somebody care to make that? You want to?
Your Honor, as a point of order, we probably should approve 6A just so it appears on the agenda formally. So I would move that we approve the changes to the agenda, adding 6A for the approval for the chief.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the addition of item 6A to the agenda for appointment of Craig Hansen to be on the Fire Pension Board. Clerk, call the roll.
Chanzit.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa. Aye. Barron. Aye. Lehman. Aye. Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosado.
Aye.
Beck. Aye. Connolly.
Aye.
14 yes, no, none absent.
Somebody to approve my appointment of Chief Hansen to the Fire Pension Board.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chanzit, second by Alderman Wolf for the approval of the appointment of Chief Hansen. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll on that one.
Janset.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa.
Aye.
Perrin.
Aye.
Lehman. Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Ewert.
Aye.
Sarone.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosado.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
14 yes, no, none absent.
Motion's approved. Okay, then moving to the agenda, back to the agenda is 7A, matters from the public for items that are not on the agenda. Do we have anybody that wants to speak? Come on up. Would you give us your name for the clerk, please, for the record?
Good evening. I am Betsy Zinzer, 801 Wind Energy Pass, 7th Ward. I'd like to offer comments on last week's discussion of possible carbon capture at Prairie State and Batavia's energy future. And with a nod to the mayor, I'd like to start by looking back. Before Prairie State was built, Batavia purchased its energy and capacity through long-term contracts. This was normal for us. City Council evaluated the contract prices periodically, locked in costs, and set rates. From 2004 to 2007, Batavia wanted to have more control of its energy portfolio. They hired consultants, reviewed options, and chose, as did many other municipal utilities, to own their own power generation. Most utilities chose to purchase enough Prairie State energy and capacity to cover just a portion of their needs. They would either purchase the rest through contracts or diversify their portfolio with alternate energy sources like natural gas or renewables. Since Batavia chose to buy all of its power from Prairie State, we're in that unique position and are completely subject to both the economic and the political risks of coal-powered electricity generation. We cannot rectify this problem and diversify our energy portfolio until we reduce the amount of power we get from Prairie State. Concerned about the shutdown of Prairie State, last week Alderman Ewert asked, how are we going to get our power? We're going to go back to doing it as we've done it before. We will find other generation options or we will contract to buy it. And options are growing. Currently, 2 terawatts of renewable energy projects are waiting in queues to complete their interconnection process. This is almost double the amount of all the electricity used in the United States today. And over the next 4 years, Peabody Coal has plans to build a 3-gigawatt solar farm with 1.5 gigawatt battery backup in Indiana and Illinois. A 1.5 gigawatt battery backup, that's almost the size of Prairie State. So planning for 2038 is not a huge challenge. It will require work and research, as Susan Russo suggested last week, but we have 15 years to figure it out. We don't know what the future will bring, but we can see which way the wind is blowing. If Batavia City Council has the opportunity to influence NIMPA and Prairie State, let's take actions that will move us forward to a more diversified, more modern energy future. No carbon capture that would extend our obligation to get energy from Prairie State. No to any refinancing that would extend our maturity date on the bonds. No to burning coal that's not mined at Prairie State. And while our costs are low, use this time to establish a fund to make future bond payments in the event Prairie State stops generating power a couple of years before our bond payments have fully paid out. Use this time to prepare for the transition, not spend ratepayer money on consultants to fight it. Finally, as one of the protesting residents who was here in 2014 concerned about Prairie State, I'd like to clarify a couple things. Gary Holmes said the citizens were so angry that they came to council with pitchforks. Literally. Literally, we didn't. There was not a single pitchfork. If the police were there, I did not notice them. Once we brought flowers. Another time we bought over 1,000 petitions. We petitioned for an investigation Because the owners of Prairie State and NIMPA were not publicly forthcoming or fully truthful about the initial costs, construction progress, and eventual operational issues that led to the high rates. It was the lack of transparency, particularly at the onset when decisions were being made, that was the root of the request for the investigation. So today, as Prairie State and NIMPA are making plans, assuring you they will not commit Batavia ratepayers to additional obligations or liabilities, that they will not extend the years of our contract with them, I ask you one thing: demand transparency. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else in the audience that wishes to address the City Council? Right. Moving then to item number 8, which is approval of a Class H liquor license for Mad About Grain LLC, doing Grainology Distillery at 131 Flynn Street. Who's got this one? Anybody?
I'll take it, Your Honor. Seeing that Mike is at his last meeting here, he asked me to fill in as the Vice Chair for the City Services Committee. Yeah, there's a straightforward application. As you recall, we modified the Class H to allow for that distillery. It's a brewstillery, and the background check seems to pan out. And I don't know if anyone has any other questions on that. If not, I entertain a motion to approve. Actually, I'll move that we approve the Class H liquor license application for Mad About Grain LLC, doing business as Grainology Brewstillery, located at 131 Flynn Street, Batavia.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Lay, second by Alderman Rosado. For the
Anybody here from the business tonight?
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
The
they're
business
over there.
owner is here.
Have them come up and tell us about it.
Okay. You guys want to come and tell us a little bit about it before we vote?
Good evening. My name is Michael Reed. This is my partner.
Jason Kelly?
First, I want to say thank you to the mayor and city council for passing the change in the Class H licensure to allow a brewstillery or a brewery, distillery, or winemaking in the same location. We had a conversation with the mayor and the city administrator April 2nd last year, so a lot of progress has been made while we've been working on building our business plan, so thank you very much. Our philosophy is as much as we can, grain to glass, field to fork. We're all about doing new things with classic styles of beer and distilling different grains, primarily in the whiskey realm, as well as vodkas and gins, using local botanicals if we can, and trying to leverage other businesses and the things that they do in the Batavia area, as well as try to recapture some of our waste grain from the process and create food products, hopefully by year 3, depending on how the finances go. So all about conscious, value-added fare, a good social place to entertain the community and our patrons. Anything else you want to add?
The one thing I'd like to add to that is that we really, really want to try and do a lot of collaborations, not just with other breweries that are pretty prevalent in the brewing world, but try to really reach out to other business owners that are not necessarily in, brewing or distilling or have anything to do with alcoholic beverages, and try to do a lot of community collaborations in that way. We already have gotten some merch made. We used Black Cactus right here in Batavia. It's important for us when we do need to find things that we, try to use Batavia businesses and support those local businesses as much as they've supported us throughout this process so far.
Thank you.
The final thing I'd like
Any
to add would
questions of the
be,
gentleman?
one more thing I'd like to add would be, we have applied for a conditional use permit, and I want to thank the staff for working with us to work through that process. One of the observations was we do intend to have a patio and serve alcoholic beverages on that patio. The current, excuse me, legislation only talks about restaurants doing that, and that there is an option to get that when you submit for your liquor license. However, a Class H doesn't appear to be within that space today. So something to think about in the future, and I'll work with staff.
We actually, while it doesn't appear in the code yet, because it has to be sent away to be put in there, we actually did include H. So you're good to go there.
All right, well, thank you for that.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and second on the floor that's been approved. Clerk, call the roll.
Malay.
Aye.
Buer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosato.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
Jansit.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa. Barron.
Aye.
Lehman.
Aye.
Ayazi.
Aye.
14 yes, no, none absent.
One more thing before you leave. When do you think you're going to open?
The window would be between September 1st and December 1st.
Okay.
We're working through the process with staff in the city. Hopefully we
Look
can.
forward to the fall.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll move to item number 9, which is the Batavia Chamber of Commerce report. Margaret Perot.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I always appreciate the chance to collaborate with the council on matters that affect our community. We have a couple great events coming up that I wanted to mention. We have our staff out to lunch event coming up this Thursday, May 4th at noon. That's an event that doesn't require any registration. Just come join us and meet local business owners. We'll be meeting at Crosstown Pub and Grill on Randall at noon till 1. We have our Coffee and Commerce, our morning networking coming up on May 10th from 8 to 9 a.m. We have our multi-chamber luncheon with Gary Fensick. Some of you old people may remember Gary Fensick from the Chicago Bears. Just kidding. He's doing a presentation in Itasca at the Westin as a multi-chamber event for us on May 10th, 11:30 to 1:30. We have a speed networking event coming up so businesses can maximize the amount of people they meet. That'll be at Eagle Brook on May 11th from 11:30 to 1:30. We have a free complimentary webinar on how to use Canva to design and improve your business. That will be online May 18th from 11:30 to noon. You just need to register on our website for that to get the link. We have our Lunch and Learn with the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity and Senator Linda Holmes. They are going to talk about economic policies that affect our region. That will be held at Enticing Cuisine on June 8th from 11:30 to 1. It'll be a luncheon, a complimentary luncheon, so please join us for that. Registration required on our website. I also want to mention our golf outing is coming up on June 16th, and registration is open currently. And I want to mention a couple of ribbon cuttings. We have, actually, I'm sorry, I do not have my date in front of me. New Moon Vegan just opened, and we'll be doing a ribbon cutting for them coming up soon. We have a ribbon cutting for Imagine Batavia, the theater on Randall Road, as you know. Batavia United Way is selling tickets. It's a fundraiser, so 100% of the proceeds for the opening night will go to United Way. We'll do that ribbon cutting on Wednesday, May 31st at 6 p.m. Doors open at 6, ribbon cutting at 6:30, and then big festivities to follow. I want to also mention that Culver's is currently open. Their ribbon cutting is coming up, and Triple C Automotive recently joined the Batavia Chamber. As you know, we had our Inspire celebration this past Thursday. It was a smashing success. So much fun to celebrate the Citizen of the Year, John Dillon, and also appreciate all the businesses that have invested in our community. We had 8 Oli Award winners, and also the Spirit of Batavia Award winner, Fox Valley, 100 Women Who Care, Fox Valley. So it was a wonderful, wonderful night of celebrating all good things in Batavia. On that night, we announced that we are running a fundraiser to benefit Chip In and the Inspire Scholarship Fund with the Batavia Chamber. The 2 tickets were donated by George Gladys, who is our Ambassador of the Year, to 2 tickets to go see Taylor Swift on June 2nd. I know all you Swifties out there are so excited. So we're running that raffle. Half of the proceeds will go to chip in, half will go to the scholarship fund. The raffle is open now. You could go to our website to buy raffle tickets, and we'll be running it through May 19th, and then do the drawing at noon on May 19th. So you'll get to find out if you get to go hang out with Taylor. I also want to say that today we finally officially started dispersing the Batavia community flag. I know last month we showed you guys. So these are now available for pickup if you've placed your order. For this is a 3x5, and we also have a garden flag. And I wanted to donate this one to the city this evening. So I will leave this with Laura. We're so excited about the whole project. Our Batavia community, as we all know, is so unique. So it's so fun to display our civic pride with a beautiful flag. Last but not least, well, do you have any questions? Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, Margaret, the great question out there in the community right now that I'm hearing is, when is this movie theater opening? It's going to be on the 31st, but what time does this party begin?
Doors open at 6 p.m. Yes.
What time are we cutting the ribbon at
Ribbon
6?
cutting at 6:30. So, and like I said, tickets are open to the community to buy on the BataviaUnitedWay.org website. And I believe that we had provided the alderman emails to Imagine, so you guys should all have your invitations to join us. So that'll be a wonderful event.
Well, Laura and I and Scott have been meeting with the gentleman that owns this thing for, I don't know, almost a year now, isn't it? And the plans get grander and greater and change, and I get asked, are they going to have anything to eat there? I guess they're having something to eat, and I don't know if he calls himself a restaurant. He calls himself a lot of other things, but yeah, I think it's going to be a very nice. Yeah, I hear nothing but any town that has this company in their community, and I've talked to several of the mayors, says really nice things about the business and the way they run it. So now that we're going to have the largest screen in the state of Illinois, I guess we'll have some honor with that until somebody beats us on that one. But so it's 6 o'clock, basically. I should tell people to get their car and come out there at the mill and go into the theater parking lot.
Yes, 6 o'clock, the doors open.
I wanted to get that on TV so everybody would know and learn and understand when this is going to be. And this is a big moment in the eyes of a lot of people. So I just wanted to highlight
it is.
that one.
It's going to be wonderful having that theater open again on Randall Road.
Spirit, and I think that your presence is one of the things that encouraged them to decide they'd buy this theater in Batavia and do this new thing that they're going to do. And they've talked about doing things they're not talking about publicly yet, but it's all good stuff. So it's I think Batavia's going to be very pleased by it when it's all up and running.
I agree. Batavia is a great community and attracting a lot of great attention. Thanks, Mayor. I would like to now introduce my esteemed guest. With me tonight is Brian Knettel. He is the new president of Waubonsee Community College. Waubonsee has been an excellent partner to our community, has developed our education for people of all educational needs and backgrounds, and has really helped our workforce in the area. So I would like you to welcome Brian Knettel.
Thank you, Margaret. I'm happy to join you as the 5th president of Waubonsee Community College. It was 3 months yesterday on the job. I'm settling in nicely, but still have a lot to learn, and I'm meeting with a lot of great people. I'm also happy to join you this evening as a resident of Batavia. 2 months ago, my wife and I moved into the community. So we're new to the area, but my wife and I were both raised in Illinois, spent most of my adult life living and working Illinois. We haven't explored everything Batavia has to offer yet, but we've been enjoying getting around town. We'll look forward to that new movie theater and the granary. I come to Waubonsee with 25 years of experience in higher education as a faculty member and administrator. Most recently, I was at Grand Rapids Community College in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I spent 10 years at Harper College in Palatine, Illinois, and before that, I was at Moraine Valley in Palos Hills, Illinois. So again, not a stranger to Illinois or Illinois community colleges. As part of Waubonsee Community College's strategic plan, we are committed to working with the community and as partners with its stakeholders. The cities, organizations, and peoples we serve are critical to our work. Whether assisting with developing talent, supporting entrepreneurs, or offering early college credit to high school students, Waubonsee Community College is committed to serving the needs of the residents in our district. Batavia is among the larger cities Waubonsee serves, and Batavia High School is one of our top high school partners. We offer multiple courses in dual credit at Batavia High School, providing hundreds of students with a head start on earning a college credential. Part of this dual credit includes a cohort program in manufacturing that helps students explore the varied pathways in the manufacturing industry. And in addition to dual credit, Waubonsee Community College welcomes about 100 students each fall from Batavia High School, which amounts to about 20% of graduating students. And this would be in addition to Batavia High School graduates who return to college years after graduating. These students come to us with a variety of goals, and Waubonsee has programs that can help students successfully transfer to a four-year college or university or go directly into the workforce. Our program offerings are designed with transfer and workforce in mind, so we can provide our students with a seamless experience from us to their next step. We have partnerships with Aurora University, Northern Illinois University, and are part of a statewide transfer agreement, which includes all public colleges and universities. We are committed to our apprenticeship programs and are always interested in developing more opportunities. Now, while most students from Batavia enroll and take classes at our main campus in Sugar Grove, we also have campuses in downtown Aurora, the Rush Copley campus in Aurora, and in Plano. These 4 campuses currently serve nearly 10,000 students across all of our districts. Waubonsee also has a long history of providing support to businesses in Batavia through our Small Business Development Office and our varied career and technical programs. And we look forward to supporting this work even more when we open our new CTE building scheduled for fall of 2025 on our Sugar Grove campus that will allow us to expand offerings in many of our workforce programs, including 2 of our more popular programs in auto body and auto technology. We also have the claim to fame of having among our 60,000 plus alumni one of the best mayors in the state of Illinois. A distinguished alumnus and, as he confirmed this evening, part of our first graduating class, Mr. Mayor was also foundational in creating many of our student experiences, including student government and our student newspaper, and served as a commencement speaker not too long ago. We are honored to call him one of our proud graduates. I want to assure you here this evening that Waubonsee's commitments to its students and residents of our district will continue. And I hope that you will all call on me and the college if there is anything that I can do to support the education and talent needs of Batavia. Thank you very much.
Any questions for the president? I would just like to say I appreciate your obvious desire to continue the strength and the growth of Waubonsee, and needless to say, I'm sure there's several thousand Batavia residents who are graduates of Waubonsee now, and this really has unveiled a major invitation for a lot of people to go further in their career and provided the background to do that. So appreciate your leadership ideas and look forward to working with you in the days ahead. And thank you for all that you've already done, but I think Waubonsee is heading into some great moments in the days and years ahead, so thank you. All right. The next thing is the approval of the annual reappointment of department heads. And hopefully somebody gave me the list here. Here it is. No, it isn't. Here it is. It's time for the annual appointment effective from May 1st, 2023 till April 30th of 2024. And I would like to offer the following appointments for city department heads. City Administrator Lauren Newman, Finance Director and Budget Officer Peggy Colby, Fire Chief Craig Hansen, Police Chief Sean Mazza, City Engineer, City Public Works Director Gary Holm, City Engineer Rahab Bari, Human Resources Director Wendy Benerick, Information Technology Director Howard Chasen, Community and Economic Development Director Scott Buning, ESDA Coordinator Fire Chief Hansen, ESDA Manager Mark Davis, and City Attorney Kevin Drendel. And I would ask for a motion of approval for that list of people.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Alderman Wolf, second by Alderman Stofa for the approval of the department heads. Clerk, call the roll.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa.
Aye.
Barron. Aye. Lehman. Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosado.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
Chanzit.
Aye.
14 yes, no, none absent.
All right, now we have to take a, let's see. No, I guess we finish off the agenda here before we go to offices, reappointing the new people who have been reelected. The next thing would be the item 11, approval of appointment of Alderman Dan Chanzit to replace Alderman Alan Wolf on the Tri-City Ambulance Board representing the city. Would somebody care to make that as a motion? So moved. Moved by Alderman Stofa, second by Alderman Beck for the approval of Alderman Chanzit to be replacing Alderman Wolf on the Tri-City Ambulance Board. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Solfa.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Lehman. Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosado.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
Chanzit.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
14 yes, no, none absent.
Motion's approved. All right, moving then to item 12, which is Resolution 23-064-R, authorization for execution of a notice of intent to award Phase 2A improvements to the wastewater treatment facility to IHC Construction Company. Who's got this one as public utilities? Alderman Saron, do you have this?
Turn it over to Gary. It said Gary Holmes, so I didn't.
You can introduce them, but we need to make a motion is what I'm trying to get done here.
Oh, well, I thought if anyone had questions, he would be.
Gary?
I don't know if council has any questions. This is just the notice of intent to award. So this is part of the IEPA loan process. This is not the actual award of a contract.
One of the 500,000 steps we have to go through with IEPA loans
That's a whole new world.
process.
I might note that the company we're talking about here, I believe, is the one that built the first phase of the plant, right?
Long back, a time ago, that'd be before my time here. So
Right. But
they've been around a long time.
yeah, they've done a nice job, so
Good.
I would encourage our approval of this.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Solfa, second by Wolf for the approval of the authorization for the awarding of the Phase 2A improvements at the wastewater treatment plant facility to IHC Construction Company. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Solfa.
Aye.
Barron. Aye. Lehman. Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosado.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
Chanzit.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
14 yes, no, none absent.
Very good. Motion is approved. All right, moving then to item 13, which is Resolution 23-52-R, authorizing execution of a 5-year contract for solid waste services. Alderman, or Gary, do you have anything to say on this one?
The city did receive today 2 sealed envelopes in response to the latest RFP for a sticker-based program. Envelopes were submitted from Groot and Waste Management, and both companies have said they did not wish to offer a proposal. So the latest proposals before City Council are the ones dated April 17th from LRS and Groot, and the one dated April 10th from Waste Management.
Anybody want to ask any questions, or?
I think we just need to make the decision which one of the two we want to go with, Lakeshore or Groot. They're the closest in price. Overall, I was going back through that again today, Gary. which one on the other end of the spectrum, like all the city costs that we have, where all those numbers lay out? Are they pretty much the same for all our downtown costs and everything else that we have with them?
I'd have to go look at that. Because I don't remember like how much is a dumpster or.
Right. I just want to make sure that we're not picking one and saving 25 cents on a,
right.
On a container and then
is-
costing us $5,000 every time we have something happen downtown.
My recollection is that their overall pricing is competitive. I think some of the key differences were Groot's commitment to transition to natural gas trucks, LRS's commitment to bring in the electric truck. Trying to think of some other key differences between them. Frankly, they're both really, they both demonstrated a desire to work with us and to one company had offered an every other week pickup schedule. I think it's going to come down to city council kind of deciding which of the other factors they want to go with as opposed to just the cost.
Right. And that was going to be what I wanted to make sure we discussed tonight was, do we want to have that every other week pickup for some of those, or do we want to go with just every week? Because I think it's 25 cents a difference.
So it seems like with Groot, they do offer the every other week for the seniors with the different colored top of the totes. Lakeshore had something in there about doing every other week recycling, but I don't think that's really.
I think the recycling should stay every week.
Yeah, so.
Because that's what we want people to do.
So it seems like if you look at all the rates that, with the concerns that have been voiced by various people about, they don't have that much garbage. I mean, Groot is offering the seniors every other week for $9.75 a month. It's the cheapest. It's from everybody. They have the 4%. I think LRS is 4% as well. And if you look at their yard waste stickers, like you were just saying, Groot's 25 cents cheaper than LRS. But then if you look at all of the totes, Groot's are cheaper than all of the LRS tote rates.
Representatives are here tonight. If you guys would like to have either of those companies or both of those companies come up and speak, that'd be entirely up to city council.
You suggesting that, or have they asked, or?
No, if we have questions of them, I think we need to, we as the council need to make our decision
Right,
tonight.
absolutely. I'm just, Alderman Burr?
The only reservation I have about I know it was probably an idea we threw out there. The only reservation I have about the alternate week for seniors is it's going to be a different colored tote. And now people driving down the street are going to know where all of our seniors live. And that could be a safety issue in the long run for seniors. I know it's cheaper for them, but if I have to think about the safety of our seniors as well, that may not be the best option. And paying a little bit more, I know that nobody wants to pay more, but it ends up then being more convenient if all of a sudden they have a heavy week and they're like, oh, wait, I have to wait another week to throw out this stuff, and it's the middle of the summer and it's starting to smell. So I'm not quite in favor of the every other week, even though it was something I was a proponent of before, trying to save some money.
I think all the garbage cans, or I'll call them, that would come with this they're all on wheels, right? So I mean.
They'll all be wheeled toters, that's correct.
That's part of our specification, correct?
Yep. Yeah, they're all very easy to handle.
So this wasn't about the handling of it, it's about the notice of, oh, there's a blue can, that's a senior. Now I know where a senior lives, and there
was some misunderstanding. I had several calls at the office from folks that didn't think they were going to have to physically pick this can up and carry it out. And I said, no, you have to pull it, but it's going to be on wheels. So that was one thing that didn't get real clear to some folks initially. So
the handle, you just kind of tip it down and then roll it along, and it goes on wheels.
Alderman Lay, you wanted?
I agree with Mike that, Mark, I got to brother Mike and Mark, that I don't like the idea of every other week in a different color for seniors for that reason, but also the other bid with LRS is $10, and that's every week for seniors. So that actually is the cheaper way, because it would be every other week and seniors wouldn't have to miss it. The other rates do get higher than Groot does, though. But as Abby and we talked about, is that it's more calculated on the amount of garbage you produce when it's separated. So encouraging people to produce less garbage is why I would lean more towards the LRS.
I would have a question then, because I think the only reason why Groot put in that every other week with a different top was because not everybody, but certain people on council were requesting that to be put in the bid. So I'm sure that the prior bid, they didn't have that. And I guess I would ask Groot to come up and just tell us, what would the price be for seniors if they're going to do every week without having a different color lid to address?
Well, they do have that.
Yeah, it was the other one.
Right.
That's the every other week, the alternate, that's an alternate. They do have the more standard, I'll call it. That's $12.75. LRS is $10. For the 35-gallon toter, Groot is $16.75. LRS is $18.75. So those are the two small toter prices. So Groot's $2 higher on the seniors. Groot's $2 less on the 35-gallon.
I think with that, taking that into account, I think there was some rates put out there that was 10 to 15% of the community would qualify as a senior. But then I know a lot of our emails that came through were from people who were not necessarily seniors who said they didn't put out a lot of garbage either. So, I mean, if you look at it that way, then that portion of the community would probably be more happy with a $2, I guess, less cheaper 35-gallon tote. So, I mean,
Overall cost, I would say the Groot proposal.
What's that?
I would say the standard Groot proposal, I guess they're calling it option one, is the overall cost is cheapest to our residents.
Everybody, yeah, for the most part. I agree with that.
Can I ask a clarifying question about the yard waste proposal? Would it operate the same that we have currently, where I see the sticker pricing, but that the toter is optional? You could just use stickers as you needed them, or you can opt for the monthly toter. Is that correct?
Yeah, and Scott Haynes is here if I'm stating that incorrect. You won't necessarily be required to have a toter.
Same as we have right now, like we've got the optional toter. Yes. Correct,
Gary,
thank you.
You got people standing behind you. I assume that some of our...
And then as I'm looking at the yard waste pricing, it looks like in the most recent proposals, LRS is only bidding a 35-gallon. Groot is bidding on only a 65 and 95-gallon.
Right.
Okay.
Do we have any other comments from the council?
Yeah, LRS seems, because they're the 130, they have the cheapest option for the yard waste for someone that wants to do the monthly toter, even though it is the smallest option. It compensates for, it's cheaper than a second or a.
Alderman Lehman?
You done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Alderman Solfa at the end of our COW meeting last week, I think, kind of touched on this a little bit, but just to state really clearly, again, the situation that we're in. Gary, it is my understanding that our current waste hauler, Waste Management, has informed us, even before we put out the RFP, that they would not be moving forward with stickers.
That's correct.
So our current waste hauler already said they weren't going to do stickers again. And then we put out an RFP. We received 3 bids that did not include stickers. And we had asked for a pay for tip. We did not get any of that, unfortunately. So then we put out another RFP asking for stickers and did not receive any bids, correct? I'm understanding this all correctly.
All correct.
Okay. So now we are stuck in a situation where we have 3 bids to choose from, and none of them are ideal. And none of them encourage less waste, unfortunately. And so we'll just have to be proactive as a city to encourage less waste on our own. And unfortunately, we're here. And I feel bad for our residents, and I feel bad for our residents who are going to be stuck with higher garbage wastes. It's not fun for me. It's not fun for you. And I hate this. So I'm sorry that this is where we're at.
Alderman Rosado?
Yeah, I have a question, because I ran into a few people the other weekend where they live in Florida and they put their garbage on hold and they're not charged for that time period they're out of town. Is that option still available?
No, I mean, they don't put their garbage on hold. They just don't have any stickers because we have a sticker program today.
okay. But
So
they
there's no official putting anything on hold.
They have the toters.
Right. So going forward, they'll still have a monthly toter rental. That's correct.
Just as another comment, just in following up to Alderman Lehman, is, I spoke with some people from other communities, for instance, one of them being Palatine, and I just kind of mentioned the situation of garbage stickers, and they looked at me in shock. They said, "What are those? I haven't even thought about those in years." I mean, I think that in all reality, this was one of the last communities that this was even being offered to by at least all of the big people that we're dealing with in terms of LRS and GROOT and waste management. So, I mean, I understand the whole dilemma about people wanting stickers, but it just doesn't seem like that is a viable option that's being offered by any of these companies anymore. And so I agree we need to pick one of these contracts. Personally, I'll say it now because I'm sure everybody's going to have to make a vote. I think we should go with GROOT, not with their alternate proposal, but with their original one. I think it's the best price for, if you take the whole population as a whole, and everybody seems to get the best price that way. Be it somebody who does put out a lot of garbage, somebody who does put out a lot of garbage, and everything in between.
Yeah, as far as the yard waste goes, if you don't want to use the yard waste system, you don't have to. You can do all your yard waste in your own yard, mulch everything if you want to. You don't have to get a sticker. You don't have to get a toter. You can do it on your own, and that's encouraging. And that's what we're trying to get people to do.
Yeah, the thing that we're trying to encourage with the year-round yard waste, though, is the food scrap collection, because that is a huge environmental problem that we are trying to curb, and it's hard to create a habit 8 months out of the year. And then to another point, I pulled up a list. There are thousands of cities across the country, big and small, that still have a pay-as-you-throw system. And so I would throw that out into the universe that in 5 years, when we're back in this position, I'm just hopeful that either state policy shifts or there's a young and hungry waste hauler out there that's looking to maximize sustainability as well as profits and can come up with an innovative solution that no guarantee that any of us will be sitting here, but if I am, I will be very welcoming to your proposal. And like Alderman Lehman, I'm really sorry to the residents.
Any other comments from the council? Alderman Sharon?
I would just, I don't know if that was a motion, but I would second it. But prior to a vote, I think we have a...
we got some people we got to let talk here.
Right.
Alderman Malay?
Thank you, Leah, for saying that. We are in a rock and a hard place here. In hindsight, I wish we as a council back as we had the discussion said, no, we want to do paper tip. Let's just put a bid out for that and then let that get turned down. But just the way we did it when we put 3 options and they could decide, well, what's the best option for us was to go with toters. That's going to be most profitable. And unfortunately, it's going to cost our citizens more. And I don't think we'll ever really know if we could have had a paper tip system, whether it be stickers, I know we had got direction that the stickers are on their way out, but I tell you, we are not going to hear the end of this if Geneva ends up with stickers. And
Geneva might get stickers, but you don't know what the price is going to be.
I understand that.
The price is $5 a sticker. It's no different than having a $10 toter for a month.
And save on trash.
Yeah.
You're motivated to do so because you've got alternatives now.
Exactly. So, in hindsight, I think we could have done this a different way to find out for sure. And I know there was a comment made to me why they already told us they wouldn't. Well, I can tell you, if I took the first deal when I'm negotiating, the teachers would have fired my butt a long time ago. But that's where we are, where we're at, and it's unfortunate.
Alderman Barron?
I think our residents do have an opportunity to decrease their garbage consumption. Based on the data that we saw, the tonnage didn't go down between the 2 years. And if somebody's really looking to decrease their waste, they could get the smaller tote and challenge themselves that way. So it'll be interesting to see what our numbers come back as far as tonnage next year. maybe it'll come down and that'll be the indicator that people are changing their habits. So they do have an opportunity to choose from if somebody is taking a 95 or 65 or putting out 2 containers or, multiple containers every week. This may be the opportunity and we can take a look at that data.
We have some folks in the audience that wish to address us. Give us your name for the clerk, please.
My name is Linda Sonner. I live at 1168 Pine Street in Batavia. I appreciate the opportunity to speak this evening about a couple of related topics. First, I have both a comment and a couple of questions regarding the upcoming waste hauling recycling contract. Frankly, I must express my dislike for the most likely loss of the sticker component in our waste hauling contract. Yes, I understand that for all the waste haulers, discontinuing stickers is a common trend, a means for a more efficient system that affects their bottom line more favorably. But as a resident, making an effort to cut back on waste and currently putting out my garbage, usually only once a month, I find the thought annoying that my efforts to create less waste will not really matter, and I will have to pay a monthly fee no matter what. I resent paying for what I don't want. When we look at the bigger picture, the reality of waste in our society is deeply concerning. I ask the question of the mega waste haulers, are they responsibly contributing to solutions? 25 plus years ago, when Batavia implemented a sticker-based program that encourages reduction of waste and increased recycling, there was the concern of landfills filling up. How has that changed? Here are my questions regarding this new program. In the past, when discarded items were too large or bulky to fit in the garbage receptacle, we put a sticker on them. Will such items without a sticker still be picked up at the curb? Will there be an extra charge to residents? Second, with regard to yard waste, our most recent hauler, Waste Management, would accept additional yard waste in other containers as long as stickers were attached. I am a gardener, and I have a large property with several garden beds that need edging. All of that yard waste does not fit in the single yard waste tote. How would the waste haulers address that situation? Now, on to another topic. Batavia, a community with a rich history, is also a community that must continue to make plans for a brighter, more sustainable future. I commend the city of Batavia for taking a stand on waste in another way, the ban on single-use shopping bags that begins on July 1st. This is a significant step in the right direction. What else can we do to reduce our impact on the natural world? The effects of climate change are evident worldwide, including right here in Illinois and in our community. As a member of the Batavia Downtown Plan Advisory Committee, I feel it is imperative that energy conservation and sustainability should be an integral components of the final Batavia Downtown Plan. This essential consideration was not mentioned at the first Community Visioning Workshop on January 25th and should have been. By implementing conservation and sustainability, this plan could become an exciting, vital springboard for other environmental efforts in Batavia. There are many new technologies that can be used to help lessen our impact on the natural world and even save money. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Mayor, if I could, I can answer a couple of the questions that were just asked. If somebody is on a toter program and they have an extra bulky item, they can set that bulk item at the curb and with a sticker on it, and it will be taken away. Or if somebody has, fills up their yard waste toter for the week and they have extra yard waste, they can place that in an appropriate container or the bags with a sticker on it, and it will be taken away.
I don't understand. What I understand is there's no more stickers. How does that work?
Household garbage.
So there's no more stickers in the context of I have a bag of garbage, I put a sticker on it, I set it to the curb. The waste, garbage, is now in a toter program.
Right.
But there is still, you will be days where you can't fit something in your toter. You need an extra bag or you need an extra bulk item. That you would just have, there is a sticker available you would place on that extra item right next to your toter out at the curb, and it would go away.
Where do we get those stickers?
Same place you do today. Well, the new vendor will have, new stores where they can be purchased.
And as for the yard waste?
Same thing. You could fill up your toter, or if you have yard waste bags, you just put a sticker on each bag.
Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
Charlie Corey, 1311 Town Avenue. I'm a little bit confused. Gary, did you just say we had to have yard waste toters? Because my understanding was we were going to be able to use the craft bags with a sticker on it. Whether we put out one bag or 10 bags on a pickup day, they could be craft bags with stickers.
Yes, Alderman Beck just asked that very question. That's true.
Okay, I thought I heard you say we had to have a yard waste.
No, I just said if somebody has a toter and they fill up their toter and they need extra.
We don't need a yard waste toter.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
And would we be able to use our own yard waste cans if we have a can from
That is
before?
correct.
33 gallon would be the limit on that size?
That's correct.
With a sticker on it?
That's correct.
Yeah, the gentleman who was waiting in the audience.
Excuse me, good evening. Josh Molnar from Groot. Good to be here again. I just wanted to briefly go over and make sure we were all on the same page. The every other week option we had an every other week option for seniors. They still receive weekly recycle, and there's still a normal weekly 35-gallon cart that could be participated in as well, if they wanted to do that option. Second, on the option one, our 95-gallon rate is $23.44 compared to LRS $29.95. Our 65 is $21.44 compared to their $25.95, and our 35 is $16.75 compared to their $18.75. So, as you guys know, I've been up here several times. I'm running out of button-down jacket combinations, and doing everything we can to try to earn your business. So I think there's some significant differences there. I know we were looking at one specific rate. When we factor in the carts and the yard waste sticker, the yard waste subscription, I really think we're a good fit. We put forth many efforts in being low from the beginning, so I would hope you would give both of our proposals consideration. Thank you. Also available for any questions.
Alderman Cerrone?
You could stay there for a second. Gary, I guess I'll run this by you first. Is there anything in the RFP that mentions like farmers market, boardwalk shops? Right now it's provided, that's in there, right? That's included?
It's all in there, yeah. And that was what Alderman Wolf and Sofa had asked about earlier, and I didn't, standing at the podium, I didn't have all the details to dive that deep in there. Yeah. Yes, we do have it, though.
And I think Gary mentioned it, but we also, the RFP called for compressed natural gas, and we did commit to that year one with transitioning all refuse and recycle trucks by year two.
To me, that's a much more viable technology right now. Electric truck really isn't, and that could be 5 years out before that happens, or 10 years out. This contract could be over before that happens.
We are running about five or six electric vehicles right now in other parts of the country, and we don't quite have it where we need to go full route. So right now we're still CNG with the option to go electric in the near future.
Based upon their pricing, based upon the fact that they are going to be using natural gas.
Okay, we have a motion and second on the floor to award the contract to Groot. Any further discussion on that one?
Just want to clarify that that's option one.
I'm assuming, yeah, option one, and then I'm assuming they can negotiate anything else in there, because he said that was, the every other week thing. I'm proposing option one as it was set forth in the original response to the RFP.
Comments from the council?
Just to clarify, option one is it was set forth in the April 17th revised RFP.
Yeah, yes, with the revised pricing and
It would be weekly pickup.
weekly pickup, with the pricing that he just set forth.
One more item I forgot to mention, we were fixed 4, and I believe LRS was at a fixed 4.5 on the last go round.
And I forgot to mention that too when I was saying that. That's another reason why, plus this 4% for the annual, and then also, right now, the stickers are 25 cents cheaper too if you need to use yard waste stickers, so.
I forgot to mention that the first time.
Nope, I forgot to mention that as well. Thank you.
Comments from the council on the motion? Before we vote, I just want to make a couple comments as the mayor. Obviously, I'm not going to vote on this because you guys, I think if we got there's more than 7 of you going to vote one way here. I was remain in the sticker camp. I think there's a lot to be said for it. Obviously, this is a changing world we are living in, and a lot of different things are happening. As you know, I serve as chairman of the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning's Council of Mayors, which is based in downtown Chicago, and not so much this particular subject, but a variety of other subjects. I would describe it as a rising fear in the minds of many of the mayors in the region about just where the cost of government's going to go in the next couple of years. And there is all kinds of people in the state legislature with all kinds of ideas about new things that should be brought into government and where the costs of it are going to be. I think that's going to be a real high point of debate and discussion with us and every other government out there, that there's just a lot of stuff happening. So anything that you can do tonight in this vote that would somehow try to control the costs here, and I think Alderman motion is probably one of the better ideas in that regard. I think we should do it because I don't know where all this is going. It's not the city of Batavia. I guess I take great pleasure in the fact to point out I got my property tax bill today in the mail. If you looked at what the city of Batavia's cost was last year, I believe it was 74 cents, and this year we're at 73. So we haven't raised the property tax any. We've kept our lid on it and done, I think, a fair job. And I think that's one of the reasons we have the city's share of the property tax bill is one of the lower ones in the region. And I'm very proud of that fact. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to boast that, because there's just a whole bunch of folks laying around, and there's this fund in the state government called the Local Government Distributing Fund, which was that the cities are supposed to get, well, everybody you talk to has a different number, but around 10% of the state income tax as a pot is supposed to go to the cities and then distributed on a per capita basis. And the state of Illinois somehow has been able to maneuver it, so now we're getting about 6%, not the 10% we should be getting. And a lot of people point out that's probably the way the state of Illinois is now paying a lot of their bills and paying down some of their debts, is they're doing it on the backs of the municipalities, of which there's, well over 1,200 in the state of Illinois. So there's people helping themselves to some of our revenue, and that's not a discussion for right now, but there's just a lot of movement of money around here, and I would tell you that in the next couple of years that's going to be, I think, a heavy-duty conversation as we try to work out how we're going to pay for all this stuff. And so I guess I'm supportive of the idea that we're trying to get the best possible deal we can here for the people in the community. Any other discussion? We have a motion and second. You want to repeat your motion so everybody knows what they're voting?
I make a motion to accept group's proposal with the revised numbers from their April 17th, their response to the April 17th.
That being said, I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Solfa.
Aye.
Barron. Aye. Lehman. Aye. Ayazi.
Aye.
Millet.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Sarone.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosado.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
Chanzit.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
14 yes, no, none absent.
Motion's approved. All right. Moving to the next item which is 14, which is ordinance 23-16, an ordinance authorizing and providing for the issuance of a not to exceed $4 million waterworks revenue bonds, IEPA of the city of Batavia, Kane, and DuPage counties for the purposes of paying for the costs of the necessary improvements to the waterworks system of the said city, prescribing all the details of said bonds and providing for the collection and segregation and distribution of revenues of said system for the payment of such bonds. Who's got this one? Alderman Chanzit.
Hey, Sean, what it looked like it was going to be an unfunded mandate from the state turns out to be a forgivable loan. We're going to be asking for $4 million to fund this program. It's to get the lead out program. It's to remove lead pipes that go from the house to our water. This will be an opportunity to get those fixed, and we were lucky to be part of the beginning of the program. So this is a great deal for the city. I would move that we approve ordinance 23-16 to take advantage of this program from the IEPA.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Chanzit, second by Alderman Beck for the approval of ordinance 23-16. Any further discussion?
Just like to give a shout out to the water department for all the work they did to make this happen, because this is not an easy process to come up with $4 million to do that. And I know they spent a lot of time making that happen.
The maintenance we put on the system too over the years has helped correct some of this in anticipation that all this was going to happen. Alderman Beck?
Just wanted to second that because as a resident affected by this, getting to sit through the process that the water department and Jeremy Barkai went through to get the information from us and to go back and forth, and their public forum that they held, Jeremy has been so professional, so streamlined, so friendly. I've heard nothing but great things, and I'm just so excited to get my lead pipe out of my yard. So thank you very much to all of you.
We have a motion and second on the floor. Clerk, call the roll.
Chanzit.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Lehman. Aye. Ayazi.
Aye.
Millet.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Sarone.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Rosado.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Connolly.
Aye.
14 yes, no, none absent.
Motion's approved. All right, moving to 15, which is a presentation of results of the community survey. Laura?
Yes, thank you. Let me just get this presentation up and running. Okay, I'm happy to be here to present the results of the Batavia National Community Survey, or the NCS. This is the exact same instrument that we used 3 years ago. So we're able to compare ourselves to 3 years ago and see how we're doing. And as you'll see, it looks like we're doing pretty good. People in general seem very in favor of the direction that the city is going. But before I begin, I would really like to thank Lori Botterman, who put a lot of hard work into bringing the survey about this year. So I couldn't have done it without you, Lori. Thank you. So about POCO, they are an online community engagement service, and they partnered with National Research Center, who have this instrument that has been tested and used by over 500 communities across the nation. So I'm really happy to see that they teamed up together, and we like the product so well that it is also the companies that we've partnered with to do the employee survey this year. Before we dive into the results, I just wanted to emphasize some of the reasons why we do the community survey. One thing is because we've done the survey before, it helps us to monitor trends in resident opinions. We also look at our own performance as a government, and we use this as a tool as we build our budgets, as we create the next iteration of our strategic plan. And something else that we really liked about working with POLCO and NCS is the ability to benchmark ourselves to other communities. As we'll see, there are about 350 communities that have taken the survey recently that they were able to compare our results to, as well as about 135 others that are communities with similar attributes to the city of Batavia. The way that the survey is structured is it looks at all of these facets of community livability. And these facets have been identified through extensive survey research as those that are most impactful to residents' quality of life. And as I mentioned, this is the second time that Batavia is conducting the NCS survey. We did it back in 2020. And it was, the survey was sent out to 4,500 randomly selected households. And of those, 997 responded with a 23% overall response rate. And this gave a 95% confidence interval with a plus or minus 3% margin of error. What does that mean? These are very trustworthy results, is basically what that means. Again, more than 500 comparison communities representing more than 50 million residents. So let's dive into our own survey results. So the darker bars show areas where the city of Batavia scored higher than the comparison to the national benchmark. And these first are two questions that ask directly about those 10 facets of community livability. The first asks residents to rate the quality of each, and then you can see the resulting comparison to the national benchmark and shading.
Hey, Laura, can you shrink up the people so we can see the actual graph?
Sorry about that.
No worries. Perfect. Thank you.
Move it out of the way. So that's what it was on the former page. Really high on that overall feeling of safety. And then this is, the second question asks about the same facets of livability, but then it centers on how important residents think these are to the overall quality of life. And then what the survey results do is they take it and they put it in this graph. So along the axis of quality and importance, you have, safety up there. Like I said, that was one of our strongest results that we had. And it's both of utmost importance to people, but they also say that we have a high quality of safety. So as we look at this spectrum, things to focus on are areas of importance, but that are scored lower. So those would be opportunities for improvement. And then a little bit about comparisons to the national benchmark. Here, out of the 122 questions that Batavia scored 66 times, higher than the national benchmark, 56 similar ratings and 0 negative ratings. But I did want to point out that there were some really high marks. We were in the 99th percentile in the nation for making all residents feel welcomed. We ranked 3 out of 221 communities. We were in the 98th percentile in the nation for sense of community. We ranked 6th out of 327. And we were in the 99th percentile in neighborliness of residents, ranked 4th out of 305. Then comparisons to our peer community benchmarks. In 23 cases, we received more positive ratings, 98 we received similar ratings, and in 2 we received negative ratings. But I did want to point out that in those 23 where we received more positive ratings, we were number 1 in 9 of the categories, and that's pretty amazing. I'm really proud of those results for us. And then these are our comparison from 2020 to 2023. 52 received more positive ratings, and 71 received similar ratings, and 0 received more negative ratings. And then we've got some key findings. Just go ahead. Notes here. So moving into the highlights of the findings, I just want to point out a few items that really stood out. For one is that our residents appreciate Batavia's natural environment and recreational opportunities. The ratings for the natural environment and parks and recreation tended to be positive, roughly 9 out of 10 offering ratings of excellent or good for the overall quality of the parks and recreational opportunities and the quality of our natural environment. A similar proportion gave high marks to the air quality, cleanliness of the city, the latter of which was much higher than national averages. Positive ratings for Batavia's water resources were received from about 8 and 10 residents, scoring higher than national comparison communities. And preservation of natural areas also scored higher than the national benchmarks as well. The availability of paths and walking trails received positive ratings from 9 and 10 residents, scored higher than national averages, and roughly 3/4 of our residents offered high marks for fitness and recreational opportunities, and that was pretty much on par with national averages. Also, upward trends indicate that Batavia's economy is on the rise. Almost every item related to economy in Batavia trended upward from the previous survey in 2020. In fact, roughly 8 in 10 residents offered high marks for the overall economic health, the overall quality of the business and service establishments in Batavia. A similar proportion gave positive ratings to Batavia as a place to work, scoring higher than national averages. Opportunities for employment, 53%. And shopping, 58%. Both saw increases of at least 9 percentage points and were on par with the national benchmarks. Other items we're seeing at least 10 percentage point increases were the variety of businesses and service establishments at 65%. The vibrancy of downtown commercial area, cost of living, and economic development. Batavians also appreciate the educational and cultural opportunities that are an aspect of our community livability. Our ratings stayed consistent from the previous survey, with many items scoring higher than national benchmarks. More than 8 in 10 residents provided excellent or good ratings for K through 12 education and public library services. The availability of affordable, quality childcare, preschool, and adult educational opportunities were also given high marks. And then residents, finally, they appreciate many aspects of the city's leadership and governance. The city's ratings tended to be very positive, with a few items that were trending upwards. Roughly 8 in 10 residents offered positive ratings for overall customer service by Batavia employees and public information services, with the latter increasing 9 percentage points from 2020. A similar proportion gave high marks for the city treating all residents fairly and treating residents with respect, both scoring higher than national averages and increasing at least 7 percentage points. And about 7 in 10 provided positive reviews for the overall direction Batavia is taking, generally acting in the best interest of the community, being honest, all scoring higher than national benchmarks. The job Batavia does at welcoming resident involvement received high marks for a similar percentage, increasing 10 percentage points from 2020. And around 7 in 10 respondents positively reviewed the city for being open and transparent to the public, informing residents about issues facing the community, increasing 8 percentage points from 2020 and scoring higher than national averages. And that is our report. And this PowerPoint presentation, as well as the full 104-page report of these results, will be available tomorrow morning on the city's website. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Questions?
Just a quick comment. These are great results. It's really great to see. I didn't get through all of them, but I spent some time reading some of the ad hoc comments, which are great. I think there's so much value in those. And reading through it, and we can obviously talk about it more maybe when we get to strategic planning or whatever. It looks like there's a huge opportunity based on a lot of those comments for a letter to be sent to every resident, because there's so many things in there that were just maybe not understood by residents.
Right.
There seem to be a lot of things. It's like, oh, you're missing that, or you didn't get that piece of information. I can see a letter going out to everybody saying, hey, we heard you. And by the way, here's these resources that you may be not aware of, or plans that we have that you may not be aware of.
Absolutely. It can certainly inform our, we do the Friday electronic mail out and all types of news stories. And that's an excellent idea, that it creates an opportunity for what content needs to get pushed out there.
There's actually, Mark, to that point, one of the communities I was looking at, and I could get the name, actually does something where it breaks down like trash services and utilities and something like that. So I'll pass that along to Lori and Laura to take a look at. I can't remember which community it is. They're all blurred, but good point.
Thanks for sticking through with this program. I know it was a tough sell at the time we originally looked at it and all the options that we had before us. You were right about the timing, you were right about holding off, and you were right about continuing the program. I'm looking forward to see what the third set of numbers looks like.
Yeah.
And to Mark's point, absolutely, I am astonished by how few people know how much information we have on our very own website.
Yes.
I thought I worked very hard with the Carriage Crest residents, and I found out 2 or 3 of the people who were most vocal about it had no idea that we had every single report down to the gallons per minute of water that were going to come through those pipes.
Right.
It absolutely would be a good idea to send a letter out to remind our residents, people who just don't go online or just don't pay attention sometimes, and maybe they need a little nudge. But these are encouraging numbers, and I can't wait to see the next set go out. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe a good time to point out a couple of areas on the city website. We have a transparency page. So if you click on government and all the way over to the right is transparency, there is a ton of information on that page. And then also, I'm always a big fan of, you just scroll to the bottom and there's the city maps. A lot of information contained on those city maps too. So, and our engineering department does a great job in terms of creating web pages about all of our major capital projects that we have going on, and to share information with the general public about those as well. I forgot this slide. It was one of our ad hoc questions at the end, in case people are interested. It's about the same on that second bridge. It's about 50-50, split. So it doesn't seem like the time is right for that at this point.
Well, now that the tax bills came out, no way.
Well, we may have the lowest rate, but nobody looks at the rate for the city. They look at the bottom of the page.
Right.
And they look at what their total rate, what they're paying.
It's because of the assessed value.
Right,
I
the
did
assessed
look at
values
that.
went up.
I compared it, but yes.
And the school district levies the max.
No, the school district didn't levy. I mean, their rate is actually lower compared this year to last year. The overall rate was lower and the school district was lower. It's assessed value.
So you're done with
Done with that part.
Okay.
I think I'm next as well.
Did you? They're talking?
Not really, just in case you were curious, a letter is going out tomorrow to the 18 retailers who are affected by the single-use bag tax and providing them with all of the information about the finance department has set up in our ordinary online tax submittal service that they'll be able to submit their fee for that through that service if they want. And then we're also going to do a Zoom meeting opportunity for them to dial in and ask any questions that they have for staff before that program becomes live on July 1st of this year. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving to 17, under other business, I do have one. We have former Alderman Dietz in the audience, and he's here for a moment to talk to. He's involved in the leadership with the Valley Sheltered Workshop, and he's here to share some thoughts with us. Welcome back, Alderman Dietz.
Thank you, Your Honor. Always good to be there. Point note, the pancake breakfast, long in tradition at Valley Sheltered Workshop in the city of Batavia, is coming back this year. It'll be next Sunday morning from 7 o'clock or 7:30 to noon over at the workshop, 325 Main Street. I've done it for more than 50 years. Had a couple of years off for COVID. So it's high time to bring back this long-standing tradition. I brought a few flyers along to share. I just happen to have some raffle tickets for the cash raffle that we have every year. And we would appreciate and invite the community to join us. For those of you not well acquainted with the workshop, we have long had great community support. The building that we live in was built by community donations from the ground up. We've delightful support over the last half century and more. Looking forward to bringing back this tradition and hope you'll all come join us for breakfast on Sunday morning. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
This Sunday, the 8th, Vic?
Correct. You're going to be in the room here for a while, so if somebody wants to buy a ticket, you can.
Stick around as long as we've got some to sell.
Okay, sounds good. Well, under the mayor's report, very quickly, I just want to pat all of you on the back, and certainly all of our city employees for the nice report that Laura was able to give to you this evening on the community survey. I think it speaks wonders about how good this really is, and compare ourselves to other communities, we really do stand out as one that has a lot going for us. And all that starts right here with you guys, because you're the ones that run it and manage it and oversee it and make the decisions as to what's going to happen. So you should be very proud of the job that's being done here by yourselves as far as making Batavia a place that people are proud to call their home. So that's the mayor's report words for tonight. Item 19 is, as you know, we have to adjourn the meeting here kind of at the end of the meeting and send diet. And I think the only person that has to get up and leave out of their seat is Alderman Rosado. And I will say in the next part of the second meeting that we're going to hold here immediately, I have a proclamation that we want to present to you. So don't run away, because we're going to, very sorry to see you go. You have been a very strong proponent of good things for Batavia and have certainly done your part to represent your ward in a very outstanding fashion. So I really, in a lot of respects, as I've told you before, I'm very sorry to see you leave, but your decision is your decision, and you certainly have made this a better place, and you just were able to sit here tonight and listen to what the world is saying about us, and you've had 8 years of direct involvement in that, so thank you for all you've done. You really have been a model alderman, and hopefully we'll continue to follow in the fashion of which you serve. So thank you for all you've done here. Thank you. Does somebody want to make a motion to adjourn the first meeting and we'll immediately go to the second meeting?
Moved. Second.
Moved by Alderman Wolf, second by Alderman Sofa. Why don't you call the roll on that one last time?
Wolf?
Aye.
Solfa?
Aye.
Barron?
Aye.
Lehman? Aye. Ayazi?
Aye.
Malay?
Aye.
Ewer?
Aye.
Saron?
No.
Singer,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Rosato,
Aye.
Beck, Connolly,
Aye.
Chanzit.
Aye.
13 yes, 1 no, none absent.
Now I can't go on consent agenda. Thank you.
Just as a matter of information, the alderman that's been elected to replace Alderman Rosato has had a business opportunity he had to go on tonight, so he's unable to be here for his official swearing in, so we're going to wait till the next meeting, and then we will swear him in. So your chair will be occupied a very short period of time, but again, thank you. All right. Call the meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll of the new city council. Well, I suppose we should do the swearing in. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we're going to start on the first ward, which is, why don't you join? I'm going to ask you guys, bring your oath of office. Okay. And come out in the center here, so if you got family or somebody that'd like to come up and be with you while you do this, we will.
And there are microphones up on the.
Oh, this one says shall.
Need to have you stand over here, because that way everybody on the camera can see you better. Okay. All right. If you raise your right hand and repeat after me, I state your name.
I, Christopher Sofa,
Having been elected
to
the office of First Ward Alderman
the office of First Ward Alderman
in the city of Batavia,
in the city of Batavia,
in the counties of Kane and
in the
DuPage,
counties of Kane and
do
DuPage,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of First Ward Alderman
of the office of First Ward Alderman
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Second ward. You got family here. So have you guys come up and be with us.
Alan, don't you have this memorized? Alan, don't you have this memorized by now?
What? I'm just gonna have to adjust so he's got it.
We got y'all on TV here, so raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Alan Wolf,
having been elected
having been elected
to the office of Second Ward Alderman
to the office of Second Ward Alderman
in the city of Batavia,
in the city of Batavia,
in the counties of Kane and DuPage,
in the counties of Kane and DuPage,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Second Ward Alderman
of the office of Second Ward Alderman
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, where's your tie-dye?
Look at these.
Oh, it's close.
Now we got the Third Ward Alderman. You've seen the drill, so you know how to do it. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Dan Chanzit,
having been elected
having been elected
to the office of Third Ward Alderman
to the office of Third Ward Alderman
in the city of Batavia,
in the city of Batavia,
in the counties of Kane and DuPage,
the counties of Kane and DuPage,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Third Ward Alderman
of the office of Third Ward Alderman
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Fourth Ward Alderman. If you'd raise your right hand and repeat after me, I state your name.
I, Thomas Connolly,
Having been elected
having been elected
to the office of Fourth Ward Alderman
to the office of Fourth Ward Alderman
in the city of Batavia,
in the city of Batavia,
in the counties of Kane and DuPage,
counties of Kane and
do
DuPage,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Fourth Ward Alderman
of the office of Fourth Ward Alderman
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Fifth Ward Alderman, now you got some family, you want to bring them up here?
Please.
Got the whole gang.
Hey, Abby, when I started, mine were that size too.
Mine will never be that tall, though.
If you'd raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Abby Beck,
having been elected
having been elected
to the office of Fifth Ward Alderman
to the office of Fifth Ward Alderman
in the city of Batavia,
in the city of Batavia,
in the counties of Kane and DuPage,
in the counties of Kane and DuPage,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Fifth Ward Alderman
of the office of Fifth Ward Alderman
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Sixth Ward Alderman.
Six isn't
So
here.
six isn't here, right? Mr. Lancy. So seventh ward. Thank you. If you raise your right hand and repeat after me, I state your name,
I, Keenan Miller,
having been elected
having been elected
to the office of Seventh Ward Alderman
to the office of 7th Ward Alderman
in the city of Batavia,
in the city of Batavia,
in the counties of Kane and DuPage,
in the counties of Kane and
do
DuPage,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Seventh Ward Alderman to
the office of 7th Ward Alderman
the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Wait a minute, I got to do another thing here. Make sure I'm following recognition. Okay.
Now we need to call the meeting to
Oh,
order.
now we need to call the meeting to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Miller.
Here.
Rosato. Beck.
Here.
Connolly.
Here.
Chanzit. Wolf.
Here.
Solfa. Here. Barron.
Here.
Lehman.
Here.
Ayazi.
Here.
Clay.
Here.
Ewer.
Here.
Saron. Vogelsinger.
Here.
13 present, 1 absent.
Motion's approved as far as city council. So I'd like to retired Alderman Rosato, if he would step forward, please. I have a information here to read about you that I would like to share with everyone. Whereas Michael Rosato has served with honor and distinction as a member of the City Council from 23. Serving during a time of dynamic change and challenges in our historic town. Which changed lives worldwide. And whereas serving as a liaison with the Batavia Chamber, Batavia took actions to help businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond, including the donations to North River Street, boardwalk shops, and approval of some Randall Road corridor. It's that a number of actions and projects were commenced that included major upgrades to the city water system, wastewater treatment plant, the flood mitigation for Mahoney Creek, and intersection Services Committee maintained it on the TRICOM Central Dispatch Board of Directors. And the Batavia City Council. Landing Senior Living, Family Home Development of Winding Creek, and the Flag Day Monument, and the renovations of the historic Batavia Government Center. Commonly dressed alderman. And finally, a word of expressed to Alderman Rosado's watchful eye and careful votes, ensuring the taxpayer dollars were wisely spent with caution. As a statement of thanks, appreciation, and for the many hours of time and other efforts devoted to the service of elected body that we are. And whereas the hallmarks of good to this task provides a true and lasting trademark on our community of Batavia as a grand place for each citizen of our town to all live amongst each other in various roles, including raising families, enjoying retirement years, sharing civic life in general, and being proud to call Batavia, Illinois, their home. And now with you standing here, I'd like to have a motion from the City Council to approve this resolution.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Clerk, take a... Please. Aye. So on behalf of the action of the City Council, I am proud to present you this proclamation with thanks. And as I've already said during the meeting, you really have made a difference here, so we're going to miss you.
Okay, thank you.
You want to make?
Yeah, you know, I'll go for it. Thank you, everybody. This gives me a different perspective speaking from up here. 8 years, while that seems like a long time, the 8 years went by rather quickly. It has been an honor to sit on City Council working with Mayor Schulke, Laura Newman, and the entire staff in Batavia. I've been fortunate to work with Alderman Wolf, Chanzit, and Cerrone, all whom have been here the entire time I served. I'm also grateful that I was able to sit next to Alderman Brown for several years and had numerous conversations with Alderman O'Brien. Both provide a wealth of knowledge for the council and I as a new alderman. I had a pleasure to work with all of you for the last 2 years, and some of our meetings will never be forgotten. I believe that the local government, especially here in Batavia, is the most efficient, effective branch of government. We listen to our citizens and we get things done. You should all be proud of what you are here doing in Batavia as city council members. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Now it says we're going to have another administrator's report? Okay. Do we have other business from the council at this moment? Alderman Chanson.
I just want to make a quick remark regarding outgoing Alderman Rosado. It's the family that I always like to say thanks to is that we borrowed you all those Monday nights and those Tuesday nights, and they're the ones that made a true sacrifice. So thank you for loaning to us for 8 years. We really appreciate it.
Anybody else? Do we have any other business at this moment? And do we have anybody in the public that wants to speak at this part of the meeting? Okay. The mayor's already talked too much tonight, so I don't have another report, but I just want to, again, thank Alderman Rosado and thank all of you who decided to run for yet another term, because it's going to be a challenging time in the history of Batavia and the history of the state and our nation. And I'm glad we have as highly experienced and talented group of men and women as we do have here on this council, because I'm thinking at the end of the day, we're truly going to need all of your insights and ideas and thoughts as to what Batavia should do and where we're going and how we should do it.
I just wanted to clarify that given the vote on waste hauling this evening, then we don't need to have a special city council meeting next Monday. But I was just inquiring whether there would be a sufficient number of you who would plan to attend on Tuesday if we had a regular cow meeting that evening. It is the same night as the Brotherhood banquet. So all the female members of the city council would be here.
I don't know if any of you are going. I'm on the program at the Brotherhood banquet, so
I will be zooming to the meeting, so
You'll
I'll
zoom
be
in?
online.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can be here in person.
Okay, sounds good. We'll check out and see if there's sufficient agenda items to make it worth your while, and we'll plan on doing that. Thank you.
All right. Entertain a motion, I guess, for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Wolf, second by Sofa. Clerk, do we have to call the roll? Clerk, take a voice vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.